Whoa, GoCharlie fans. It looks like my new background is not playing nicely today. So we're going to change that up a little bit. We're going to go high definition. There we go. Awesome. Great. So lots going on. First of all, we have this great new background. Second of all, I wanted to show you guys a little bit about what's going on with the product, show you some of the capabilities to kind of get things going. And then I have an ask for you guys based upon how this product works. So give it a listen, tune in. But I think first and foremost, I would love to see all of your beautiful faces at the AI party. That's September 6th. For those of you that haven't seen the incessant spamming, I promise we're doing it because we love you and want you to see all the cool things that are coming on the GoCharlie front. That being the new model, which will be released before the event itself, so you can build on that if you're looking to build your own applications. I know we have a lot of focused builders in this group that want to just like experiment with these types of tools, and we want to give you the tools to do so. So first and foremost, that'll be coming. We're going to have the guys from SRI, the ones that built Siri. We're going to have someone from NVIDIA talking about their multimodal efforts. So for those of you that want to nerd out on like where's the AI going, all that sort of stuff, you're going to get your fill. Then we're also going to have a demonstration of Agent Charlie. So you'll get to see the new product in action, get to see some of the crazier capabilities. We won't go over some of those today. I want to save a little bit of surprise for y'all. But you're going to get to see that. Then we're also going to have a session on the future of marketing and the future of AI. Now, I think many of you might be like, well, I'm not a marketer, but I think this session is going to be super interesting because the whole field of marketing in it of itself is changing, right? So like marketing may not be marketing as we know it. And I think as we get further and further along this AI adoption curve, everybody's going to be a creator. Everyone's going to be creating content. Many of you already do, which is really awesome. You guys have become celebrities in your own right. And I think the business of you is kind of the future of all of this. AI is going to be the great enabler that evens the playing field between the enterprises and the small players. And so I think you guys are going to find that very fascinating. We're going to have the CEO of Hawk Media, Eric Huberman. We actually haven't announced that yet. They have invested in us. Their agencies are going to start using GoCharlie, which means we're going to have more revenue coming in, as well as the partnership with them on proprietary data sets and some other things. So I think what's going to be fascinating with that is we're going to pair him with this guy named Max Bidna, who runs 4 or 5 of the top subscription newsletters for marketers globally. So it's going to be an interesting perspective between the two. Max has already sold an agency. He's an advisor to the company. So I think you guys are going to see a really interesting back and forth between them. Then you'll also, of course, get to see Kostas and Despina in action showing off their AI capabilities. Masha, our new CMO, will be there presenting the new product. So you're going to get to see a whole slew of things. We're also going to try to make this fun. I don't know how many webinars I've been to where it's like watching paint dry. My mom's a painter. You don't want to watch paint dry. That's just not something you want to do unless you have to contemplate something about your life. And so we're going to do some things that make it a little bit of fun. We're going to have some giveaways for the first 1,000 signups. We're also going to give attendees some free usage of Charlie and some more opportunities for you all to have as best of an experience to celebrate in the fruits of our labor and your support. So I'm really excited about that event. It's taken up way more of my time than I probably want to admit, but I'm just excited. And I think it's going to set the stage for us to do a lot more events and a lot more hands-on work with our customers going forward, which to me has been the big thing with this. I've been frustrated that we're not moving the product out and getting it in your guys' hands, but I'm excited about what we have coming. So more to come there. We will also be publishing a whole bunch of events that we're going to be at. So for those of you that are in the States and will be around, a way to keep up with what we're doing on virtual events, on different things in big cities, in-person events, if you want to see us in person, the Luma GoCharlie events that I just posted in that chat, you'll be able to follow along with where we're going to be. There will be both virtual events and in-person events. So you are going to have all sorts of opportunities to learn from us in different ways, different things that the tool can do. Masha and I will be running with those initiatives. So you will likely be seeing and hearing from me a lot more than maybe you wanted to, but hopefully that's a good thing. I like to think that I have a fun tone of voice. So more to come on that. Yeah, so there's already a question in the audience. Can you give us a little nugget of what Agent Charlie can do? So we can definitely do that. Maybe before I jump into that, a question I have for you all is, what are some of your favorite tools that you use via API, or maybe favorite tools in general? Because the way that the agent works is we're using a coupling of both language models as well as APIs, such that you're able to call from different tools based upon what you type in. And we'll show you what that looks like in a second. But if there are any tools that you're using via API, there's any tools that you use fairly regularly as part of your process, we want to know, because if we can API those into the agent, we can make a much more robust product that solves your problem a little bit better. So I think this will come out as you naturally start to use the product, and you might think to yourself, okay, this would be the tool that I use. Or maybe there's a Chat GPT plugin that you're using fairly regularly. That would be a prime candidate for us to go get into our tool marketplace. Over time, you're going to see us expand the agent's capabilities with different tooling, either built by us or built by others, such that you have one product that you can execute across everything on. So with that, I'm going to bring the agent into the forefront. So share my screen. There we go. Entire screen. Maybe one last note. We are going to be using Crowdcast for Go Forward events for both customer onboarding as well as the AI party. So keep a lookout for that. Crowdcast allows you to do more Q&A. It allows us to bring you up on stage if you like. It's just a really neat tool that we can manage everything from and also bring panelists on. All right, so let's dig in. So this is the agent. Already looks way cleaner. So what you're going to see here is just like your main dashboard of sorts. You have a workspace, and then you have projects. Think of projects as similar to threads in ChatGPT, but there's going to be some major differences that you'll start to see. But basically, a new project gets created anytime that you put a new prompt into the model. So maybe let's remove this just for a second to see what it looks like beforehand. So if you don't have anything typed in here, you have a bunch of examples. You can do a quick search if you want to look for different prompts based upon what you're trying to create. But most of these are, you're going to start to see that there's different ones that have different capabilities. So like this one, you can create multiple outputs all at once. So you could search for news on a topic and then create Instagram posts about it. Many of the content creators that we've worked with, they're creating authoritative content. But I know for many of you, you guys like to do blogs. But I'm going to start with a Twitter post, and we'll see where it goes from there. But here's a very simple writing. Like I say, a series of tweets about GoCharlie's AI party announcing their new product suite for content creation. This is awesome. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Notice you'll be able to attach files and manipulate them as well. We'll dive into what some of that functionality might look like in a second. But basically, you press enter here. And so Charlie goes to create content. So he's going to create a new project, but he's also interpreting the prompt that you've given him. So you'll then see the original prompt will come up as this thing is loading. But over here on the left-hand side, you have add content. So once you've like created a piece of content, all you have to do is press add content, and you can give it an additional prompt to create content in a specific project. So think of this as like projects is where all of your content is housed, but then each individual output will be in its own card, right? So we have some fun here. All right, it looks like it didn't take my prompt originally. Of course, live demos don't like to work in the way that I want. So let's go back here to our workspace. Let's go to add project. All right, cool. Let's go with one of these more stock ones real quick to see how this might work. Okay, so going back to this, thanks for bearing with me, y'all. I know that was that's a weird one, but basically, you put in the original prompt, it's going to give you an output back. And so this output is ultimately going to be able to be used, but it should give you cards for each one of the outputs that it has. Now, obviously, there's some touchiness that we're still working through. This is very much still a still work in progress. But what's going to happen is you'll get a output. But maybe while we're waiting for that to load, a couple other things. So you'll have tutorials down here. You'll have support down here. You also have profiles and settings. but profiles and settings is where your integrations are going to be stored. So you're going to be able to use those integrations to ultimately be able to distribute your content. So I know we're waiting a little bit for this one, but let's see here. Maybe we can just go back to something I've already created and see how that works. Okay. All right. So this is something that I already created. Here we go. So content description. This is a blog that I wrote. Now the blogs will come out in a much more formatted way. Right now we're just doing the raw text, but it'll come out a little bit better. But what you can do here is you can say, I want to publish this content, and you'll have your different platforms that you can publish to. So you just simply click this, and there we go. So whenever that's all hooked up, you'll be able to just post that directly to Facebook. You'll be able to post the tweets directly to Twitter. But maybe that you want to upload some content, you can do that as well. But I think the main difference here is, like many of you said, that with chat-based interfaces, you don't have the ability to edit. One, you can edit this way. So you can use your scalpel. You can basically go in here. You can do AI commands to expand. You can rewrite. But then what you can also do is this interesting command bar at the bottom. We call this the context action bar. So effectively what you can do is you can put in, hey, this is great, make it shorter, and you can edit the active piece of content here. So notice there's a toggle here. This toggle is very important. You can edit the active piece of content, or you can create new content. Many of you know content repurposing, right? Well, instead of using content repurposing, going back through clunky things, having this weird left-hand bar, what you can do is click create, and then you can say, turn this blog into a series of tweets. And it'll go and create it itself. So there's a bunch of different ways that you can do this. You could either add new content, and you can start from just another mega prompt, and it'll all go into the same project. Or you can just go into this active space, make edits to the content using the AI. So this would be particularly important if you're doing short form text, or if you want to change the tonality of an entire blog all at once, you can do it. If you want to make edits to an image because we're upgrading the image models, you can do that. So all of those unique capabilities that we had available in the platform that were like super clunky are now going to be accessible through this editing bar at the bottom. Notice you can even attach files in an individual area. So your content outputs you're going to be able to play with. You're going to be able to make mass edits to change tonality of different capabilities. All of this is going to be able to be done in the active piece of content or creating new content for a project. The idea is that eventually, instead of creating just one piece of content, all you have to do is go back to a project, and you can say everything that you want at first, but then you have this AI agent that is able to work with you to make edits on a global basis to each individual output. So not only could you say, write 4 blogs about the latest news in generative AI, you could do that, but you could also upload files for it to use as source material. You can start to use anything as an input like we had for content repurposing, but in a much more collaborative manner. You're able to upload files at any point of the creation process. You're able to create multiple outputs at once. So for you, if you're creating a bunch of different blogs all at once, and you want to just mass create because you've got the content, the keywords that you want to use, all that, you can do that. But ultimately, you never lose the ability to work with the AI in an editing capacity, or to use your active content to create even more content. So the idea here is that you now have a content engine that can understand very complex prompts that would otherwise crap out most other AI capabilities, all with the editing capability that you know and love from some of the other AI tools. So right now we have Facebook and Twitter set up for so here we go. We got 4 blog posts. Boom. That was maybe 30 seconds. Shorter blogs, but all you have to do if you want to expand on it is just type down here, hey, expand on this to add another 500 words, and it'll be able to do that. So you have your original prompt here. You have this here. You have your editor capabilities here. You have a create functionality here where you can use this to create even more content. So if you wanted to go from this to a tweet, or if you wanted to go from an audio video file to a social media campaign, you can. Now, one more thing on maybe the integration. So if you go to profile and settings, you'll see your subscription general here, but you can also play around with your integrations. So there will be a tab here that has all of the integrations that you utilize across all of your different capabilities. It's here on the workspace level. So I've already connected my Facebook. I've already connected the GoCharlie Twitter. So we will have all those functioning. The plan is to also have Instagram and LinkedIn with additional integrations in the future of Pinterest, TikTok, and several others, including maybe even some email players. So the idea is that we want to be able to do the entire job. Right now, it's still going to feel like a content creation agent, but it'll be able to create a bunch of content at once with a high degree of fidelity, as well as make edits rapidly using AI as your co-pilot for that. But eventually, what we plan is to be able to pipeline in trends, information that is more relevant, more recent. And then the AI agent will actually suggest different types of content to you based upon what's happening in the world and its understanding of your business, its understanding of your needs, your goals, your audience. And then ultimately, we'll have the distribution aspect with the integrations here. So the idea is that we want to take you all the way from ideation to creation to review and editing, all the way to distribution, a full suite that is a content creation agent to help you grow your business. So I know that was a lot all at once. I'll stop sharing and I'll get into the questions. Cool. Let's see here. Content Studio would be awesome. This looks so much better, much cleaner. Yes, I agree. This is the most excited I've been about our UI in a very long time. And this is just the bare bones. We have a lot more coming on top of it, which I'm super excited about. I can't wait for you guys to see some of the screens with the visuals added because it's pretty amazing. I was just typing to ask about adding source content. Yes, so sources are cited at the end of any content that is utilizing external sources. We want you to have that capability to be a white knight in the AI generation field. What are the ad content formats? Good question. If there's any specific formats you want, let me know. But right now, it's a pretty basic text editor. We have like body all the way up to H6 in terms of text format. You can play around with the text editing. The real crux here, though, is that getting that formatting to route through to the end platform is difficult, right? So like, let's say you format a Facebook post really well and have all these like different text types. Facebook may not pick up all of those. So that's the trickier part. We're still working on exactly what that looks like. But if there's specific content formats you want, please let me know. That's awesome. Word count and editor. Yes, that's coming. I will make sure that there's a word count at the bottom of those windows. We'll have the new look. How much content can be uploaded for context? Is there a token limit or amount of words? So this is a great question. We're still working on this precisely. The file uploader is very complex once you start to get multimedia. We have it on our existing platform, so it's not terribly difficult. I think it's somewhere in the range of 2 gigs, but I think that's more audio video file. So let me get back to you on that particular question, but I know that's something that we will share. Show us the memes. Okay. Let's see if the memes are working right now. The memes weren't working last night because we're doing some heavy back end work, but I'm gonna see if we can do it. Hold on. Create 4 funny memes about GoCharlie and AI content creation. All right, I'm gonna bring it up. Boop, boop, boop. Okay, let's see if it actually comes up today. I know memes were being a little problematic, but yesterday I was able to generate a exact. Yeah, so each card has a meme on it. Obviously, we're playing around with different formats. I think that having the images come out in the RTE is a little bit weird. Eventually, what would happen is this would look kind of like a post for whatever platform you're creating for. But this is the meme. So you have meme access. We also have a stock photography pipeline that you can utilize. We also have a new image model coming online, as well as some image editing capabilities coming online. So I was able to generate a picture of a New York penthouse on Central Park from scratch that looked pretty perfect yesterday. Let's see if we can actually do it again today. So generate an image of a New York City penthouse on Central Park. Yeah, I know you guys have been asking for new image models for a while. I've been asking for them internally for a while, so they are coming. But I think you're going to see, yep, perfect. So this was generated. That looks pretty damn near real, which is kind of scary, but awesome at the same time. But yeah, so we have a new image model that's there. And then ideally, what's going to be able to happen is you're going to be able to edit images using just this bar down at the bottom. That functionality isn't quite there yet, so I won't demo it. I'm going to say that as a bit of a surprise, but being able to edit images from the same text box, I think will be pretty huge, especially if it can be accurate. So more to come there, but again, a full content creation suite that spans both images and text. You will also be able to upload audio, video, CSV files, PDFs, documents, all that fun jazz. So the same content repurposing you know and love, the same content creation capabilities, all within a more fluid package that feels more cohesive as a product experience. How much content can we show us the memes? Did you do anything with content scoring upgrade? We're working on it. That's part of the partnership that we have with Hawk Media with regards to scoring content. Ideally, what you're going to be able to do is score the content with the editor capabilities. We're still working out how that looks best UI wise. But yes, there's some work going on with content scoring, but Despina is quite busy with the AI models, the multimodal models, the new image model, and some partnerships that we have coming online with AWS. So more to come. Infographics. I think it's short. It's a little bit still not there. I don't think we've optimized towards that specific thing. Code Interpreter has some really cool stuff from ChatGPT on that particular front that I'm envious of. Being able to create a table is something that I'm very envious of. So I've put that on the roadmap. I don't think it will be ready for the September 6th launch, but something for us to think about. Will the agents go out and learn to complete our tasks? So this is a great question. Kind of gets back to like, what do agents do, right? So I'm glad we're kind of ending on this. So there's a whole bunch of discussion about agents right now. And for most people, an agent, as it's being seen at the moment, is an AI that can go crawl the web or execute across software. We're trying to build the latter. We want to execute across software, but we want it to be within our own wheelhouse, right? So like we'll build partnerships with software such that the AI can go and execute across those. It will learn new skills to be able to do them. But that's ultimately what we're going to be building towards. I don't think we're going to build towards like a web crawling agent, although everything's in scope because maybe sometimes you need to go to a website to do something. But I think there's a lot of legal issues with those, and most of those AI agents, to be quite frank, don't get it done on a reliable basis. And we want to brand ourselves more as like AI that actually works. So our agent is a combination of both cognitive AI as well as LLM calls. So think of this as like an AI brain that sits over top of a bunch of tools. Or if you want to think about it in a more romantic way, think about it as a music conductor that's got a bunch of instruments that it can access, and it ultimately calls those instruments when necessary to create a symphony. We're not trying to just build something that's a recursive LLM call. One, because OpenAI will do that. Two, because it just doesn't work. It doesn't work with enough reliability for you guys to actually want to buy it as a product. And I think that's more what we are focused on, is we want to introduce something that solves your problems, helps you guys, and ultimately is reliable. I don't think any dog that's unreliable would be very favored in your all's opinion. But with that, that's the majority. Will there be free puppies at the party? I've been told that I'm not allowed to give out puppies. I've also been told that there is a Uber for ordering puppies for said events. It's going to be a virtual party, so I don't think we'll have puppies there. However, we will be in New York for New York Tech Week, and we are doing a dog walking event where people can use the product on mobile, which is pretty amazing. So be on the lookout for that one. I definitely want to have puppies at every party. So the answer to that would be yes, I would love it. But I think free puppies is more so the giveaways that we're going to be doing. So hold on tight. But thank you, everyone, for joining today. This was a much longer one. Hopefully the beginning of a lot more strong updates from the team, as well as education on how to use this platform. So more to come. I love you guys. I'll be in touch here soon. Shoot me any questions you have in the comments. See ya.